Hello everyone, I want to give you a quick overview of how NotebookLM can work. Now this is just a few simple examples of how you can utilize NotebookLM for creating new types of content. So this is the NotebookLM homepage. You click on Try NotebookLM. It would take you in and you'll create a new notebook. And it would be untitled, and you might want to title it American Revolution. That would be my topic. And what you'll notice about NotebookLM is it has sources over here, it has a chat area here, and it has a studio, deep dive conversation, and adding notes, study guide, briefing doc, FAQ, timeline, and saved notes will be here. So one way that you can utilize NotebookLM is if you have an outline that you currently use for teaching materials, you can click here and add it as a copied and pasted text. You also can start with some web-based resources, which I'm going to show you right now how to use. So let's say I've Googled American Revolution. I'm looking for some resources. I'll go ahead and I'll take the Wikipedia link here just as an example. I'm going to go back to my NotebookLM homepage. I'm going to click Add a Source. And here I can upload sources if they are files. I can go to Google Drive. I can go to the website, YouTube, or copy and paste. I'm going to click on website and paste that first resource in. And now this Wikipedia page on the American Revolution is considered a source inside of NotebookLM. Okay. Once you add a source, it's instantly going to provide a brief overview of the source here within the chat window. I'm going to add two other sources just as part of this demo. So I'm going to go back to my search, and let's say I really want to use this causes and timeline from history.com. I'm going to add that as a search. Put that in there. Now I have two sources. I could also upload a PDF or other static file. And let's find one more. Let's find this. Let's take this video. So we're going to add a video resource. I'm going to copy the link address to that video, this website, paste that link in there. Actually, I want to use the YouTube option right here, YouTube. It's only the text transcript will be imported at this moment, and only public YouTube videos are supported. So now I have three sources inside here. And if you notice here, you'll have a different indicator for each source. And let's go ahead and get started. So let's say that you have a specific desire to create a document or other type of learning resource from these sources. So you can utilize the prompts that are already here. How did Enlightenment ideals shape the American Revolution's causes and consequences? And just note, before I click this prompt, right now it's selected all sources. So it's going to utilize all the sources to kind of answer this prompt. It takes a moment to think. And then what it's going to do is give me a note. So it gives me this breakdown of causes of the revolution, consequences, and it has some bullet points, but it also has what source is cited here that is contained within the text. Now, if I liked it, I can give it a good response thumbs up. I can also copy and paste all of the text into another document. But if you are doing continuous work, you're going to want to click on Save to Note. And when you click on Save to Note, over here, you'll notice that it makes a note here exactly of what was created with the prompt. You can delete that if you want to, or just reduce it. And now that note is contained. So what I've done here is we've, skipped ahead a few steps. And what I've done is I've added sources by clicking add source. And I've added websites and I've added YouTube links. And you can see those right here. And they're all selected right now. So you see that, if I click add source, they're all selected. This is a website, 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 and then you see the red YouTube symbol. That is the YouTube video. So what's important to know with NotebookLM is that if you have all the notes selected that you've added, and then you have either the prompt, which you can run, they do provide some built-in prompts here in the bottom of the window. You can also write your own prompt, but it's going to give you the result of all of the sources that you have selected. So this, based on this prompt right here, how did economic factors fuel the American Revolution? You can see that it produces this text based on all of those responses. Now, let's say I want to ask the same question as a custom prompt. I'll put it in here, but I only want the YouTube video. So I'm going to click on only the YouTube video, and then I'll run the prompt. So here, you're going to see it's now thinking about the prompts. And so this response right here is only using the YouTube video. The one before it is using all those resources. Whenever you have a resource, whenever you have some text created, if you click on Save to Note, it gets added over here to the right side. You can also choose to like it if you like the response, and you can also copy and paste it directly out of here, as I spoke about before. And let's say I liked the one from the YouTube video, I'll hit Save to Note. Often it will have a different name, usually the beginning text. And what you can do is you can actually use these notes that you've created as sources themselves by hitting Convert to Source. And if you notice, it brought it over and added it as one of the sources. So if I wanted to use all the sources, I'd click all the sources, and now those are available. So I now have content created that I can copy and paste out of here if I want to use it directly with citations from where I grabbed them from. So if I like them and want to manipulate them and put them into my own document and edit them and transform them into my own writing, my own materials, I can, and I also have the source to cite. Now, also important to know is over here, as I've created different notes and saved them, they get added here, and you can delete them, you can open them up, you can look at them and use them as you need to if it's a specific piece of information that you want. You also have this great feature of creating a study guide, which will generate some vocabulary words and some questions to answer. Also some frequently asked questions. I'll show you what that looks like. A briefing doc, and also a timeline, which can be generated specifically for a topic like this, the American Revolution, which have specific dates. So what it's doing is it's taking all the notes that I've created, and it's creating a timeline and these FAQs, also the study guide and the briefing document. So here you can see here's the study guide, which has short answer questions and the key essay questions and navigations of terms, if you want to get a start on utilizing those with your students. It also has the FAQ, causes and consequences, what were the primary causes, what were the long-term effects, generated from your resources. And then we have the briefing doc. Well, this is the timeline, actually. the timeline of the American Revolution, early seeds, taxes imposed, a number of resources, cast of characters, to give you a full picture of the characters and some of the main themes. And let's find, so we've covered the short answer, the primary causes as the FAQ, the briefing document, and here's the timeline. So those are the type of resources that you can get generated. Now I also could convert these to source, but the key is that you are basically utilizing resources to generate new materials that can be used the way you want to. And you have built-in prompts. You can write your own prompts, let you know how many sources there are, and also note that it does sync with Google. So if you wanted to add a source directly from Google Docs or Google Slides, you can do that. And also I find that copying and pasting an outline, a pre-existing outline that you've made, or something to kind of frame your research is also helpful, particularly at giving you a framework for the start of your research. So you could start with a timeline or a specific outline, and then find resources that support it, add those resources here, and answer very specific questions using those resources. So that's my quick overview. Hopefully you get encouraged to try this out. It's a great way to utilize AI with resources that you're familiar with the content is coming from. And always think about how you're going to repurpose the content to make it authentic and make it your own as you begin to use it with students and for your own materials.